Welcome to Mr. Reuter University. At Mr. Reuter University, our mission is to teach our principles and systems so that all the people we touch live happier and more successful lives. Welcome to the next segment, using the iPad series. Today we'll be talking about creating the initial estimate. Never forget that every time we're in front of the customer, we will leave with one of two items. One, an estimate, and two, an invoice. Let's get started. We left off after completing the plumbing checkup. Once we complete the plumbing checkup, what happens is, and we'll close it out, the next window that will open is the job window. Select Create Initial Estimate, and we're ready to go to add an estimate. So name your first estimate, initial estimate, in order to distinguish your first offer from secondary offers. Once created, you can begin selecting items from your menu pricing guide. Now is to decide, what is my initial offer? Introduce the concept of menu pricing to your customer. They're probably unfamiliar with the concept, as many plumbing companies normally use time and material. But menu pricing, as it pertains to service work, is the best way to not only protect our customer, but to save them money. This conversation may sound something like this. Another great thing about Mr. Reuter Plumbing is that we use menu pricing. Menu pricing allows you to choose the services that best meets your needs and your budget. A properly set up iPad and menu pricing guide separates all of the tasks that we have from a menu of preferred services to offer from. A great illustration comes to mind when we talk about restaurants. When you go out to a restaurant, where do you order your meal from? Do you order the meal from the chef's recipe book, or do you order it from the menu of pre-prepared, pre-planned selections? The answer is obvious. The same rules apply for plumbing services. While we have a complete recipe book of over 18,000 individual items to choose from, we should offer to our customers some preferred pre-planned services that will satisfy the customer's needs, as well as allow us to have all the skills, the tools, and the materials needed to provide service fully and consistently. As you can see in this illustration, the menu is clearly separated from the rest of the services we provide. One picture in the upper left-hand corner is a full color and named iPads. Once we select from the menu, you can see the iPad clears away the clutter, so to speak. Now you can select some pre-selected tasks or subcategories, leaving the most often used repair tasks for ease of selection by the technician. For example, because we're in the stoppage section, the stoppage section in the menu is separated into 6 very distinct categories: a toilet stoppage, a sink stoppage, a lavatory stoppage, a small drain, a large drain, and drains that have P-traps. As you can tell, this will solve 99% of all the problems our customers may have in their home. Finally, what's left after we select the toilet stoppage is the pre-selected good, better, best options, or in our case, the fix, fix and prevent, and fix, prevent, and enhance, or good, better, best. Now it's time for you to choose the service that fixes and prevents. Once selected, we begin sharing the screen with the customer. All screens previously are things that we do automatically, and we just tell the customer what we're doing. The previous 4 steps take seconds to accomplish because they have required no conversation until we reach the customer view of the preferred service that we will offer. Once we've selected the initial offer, it is time to present it to the customer. Before we continue, it is very important to explain to the customer why we believe this selection would be the best solution. A properly set up iPad has illustrations attached to each job. In this case, we have a cutaway view of a toilet. Selecting the illustration by double-clicking to expand it for the customer to see is the best way to use illustrations. Use the illustration to explain to the customer the causes and possible solutions. There is a saying that says a picture is worth 1,000 words. At Mr. Rooter, we believe a picture is worth $1,000. Use illustrations, props, or the fixture itself to show the customer what you think has caused the problem. It may sound something like this. Let me show you what I think is going on. All toilets operate based on two very fundamental principles: water and gravity. Affect any one of those two principles and it can cause a problem or a poorly functioning toilet. As you can see, the water is provided by the tank. If the tank doesn't fill up properly or fast enough, the toilet won't operate properly. And if it doesn't operate properly, causes can be clogged. Additionally, all toilets are designed to prevent solid objects from getting into your home's sewer system, causing even bigger problems. What we should do is remove the clog, then repair the toilet to ensure proper operations. Does that make sense to you? Once a complete explanation is given and you've shown the customer what you think the cause is, the customer doesn't have very many questions left, and you can move on to the next step, which is actually describing the service that you want to provide. Again, a properly set up iPad will contain the job description that explains to the customer all the things we must do in order to complete the service thoroughly and professionally. The description should tell a story, not be an installation or repair manual. For example, a good description would be, as in this example, we're going to remove the toilet from the closet flange. The closet flange is what connects the toilet to your sewer system. Then we're going to inspect the closet flange for damage or defects. See, that makes sense. It is telling the customer the process that we're going to perform. A bad description would be telling the customer how to fix their own toilet. Mrs. Jones, all you got to do is loosen those two Johnny bolts. We'll lift the toilet up from the tank. Do you see the difference? Our job is not to teach our customers how to fix their toilets, but the processes that a professional plumber will do to make sure that you fix the problem and prevent it from happening again. Each job description should include the discussion about the same-day discount. And don't forget, Mrs. Jones, that today, if you find any other work that you think needs to be taken care of before I leave, you can save up to 30% today if we perform the work today. Does that make sense? And then offer this to the customer. This is what I suggest we do. Once you discuss with the customer what you propose and describe the task, the warranties, and answer any other questions, you should be able to move on to the next step. And the step is, you know, Mrs. Jones, this is what I propose we do. Hand the iPad to the customer. These, and scroll down to the bottom, are some of other options for you to choose from. What would you like to do? Always ask the question. Always make sure that you ask for the sale. What would you like to do? This is what I suggest you do. These are the options that you can choose from. What would you like to do? And then be quiet. Wait for the answer. Answer any additional questions. And if the customer asks, how much? Simply point to the price on the iPad. Here you go, Mrs. Jones. This is our standard price and this is our member price. And wait for the answer. Once the customer makes their choice, if the customer selects your preferred choice, add the item to the invoice, and once added, a properly set up iPad will already have a suggested additional offer. We call this the Amazon close. Why? If you've ever shopped online, you know what happens. You buy something online from Amazon, let's say it's a telephone. You get done, you buy it, there's 5 or 6 other selections. Most of our customers who buy this phone have this attachment or this add-on. At Mr. Rooter Plumbing, we offer the same thing, an automatic add-on that will enhance the customer service. Not do more of the service that we're suggesting, but enhance the service that we are providing. the add-on automatically will show up on your screen. It should be offered like this. Mrs. Jones, thank you so much. I think we've made a great decision here. Most of our customers who opt to have this done also like to add this additionally. Would you like me to add it to your task? And this will save you up to 30% off today. Make sure that when you select that task, you toggle between the add-on price and the normal price so they can physically see the savings that they're going to receive today. Don't forget to do this, as this will serve to remind the customer of this benefit, and more importantly, when you offer additional work once you've completed the initial task, it will remind them they can save money today. Once you're done, select the word Done. Now you are in the estimate screen, and here's where you can review the estimates. The first view that you see right here will list all the estimates in order that you've given them. The first thing you should do when you see this screen is to select the recommended estimate that you want. Once that's done, it will put it in order in a good, better, best selection, and from here is where you will view and then present to the customer. Present the customer by selecting View. Then the invoice will show up. Here you can review one more time if it's necessary exactly what you're going to do and ask for the signature. The most important thing you can do is ask for the authorization signature. Select Sign and the signature block will appear. Hand the customer the iPad. Hand them a stylus, and we prefer that rather than a finger. Just remember, the customer knows what we do for a living, and our iPad should always be immaculately clean. Make sure that you use a stylus when asking the customer for a signature. And then the script should sound something like this. You know, I believe we found the best option for you. And if you'll just sign here, I can get it started. Once you do that, a pop-up window will appear asking you if you'd like to start now or later. If you select now, you will automatically convert this estimate into an invoice, and you will see the invoice screen.